takes about 5 minutes for that broadcast to come through.
Okay.
So if I've pushed all the right buttons, we should be coming online just about now. So if I've pushed all the right buttons, we should be coming online just about now.
Okay. Alright. Let me...
Okay. Did you just hang out? Okay.
It went away because something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you hang out? Very good. Chat with. Very good. Okay, so I guess we should talk just a little bit more and see whether they, I don't even know how to say this, lerb Q per duck. We're hearing nothing whatsoever besides noise.
Yeah. Okay. It should be fixed in 4 seconds. Depending on how far behind they are. Okay. Let me see if I can bring Tennyson back on the line. And if anybody else would like to participate by voice, just either send a message, a Skype ad to Mark's phone, M-A-R-K-S phone. I'm going to put that in the chat window.
How come it's a pic? Sorry about that. How come it's a picture of me? Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah, and I can turn on my video, and everybody's going to see me reaching over the screen to type on the chat machine behind me.
Ah, very good.
Okay, so this is part of what I'm not really sure how this is going to work, but what I want to do is have a discussion on the different tools we use to collaborate. We're working with online conferences today. We've got a whole range of different social networks we can try. Do we just follow each other's blogs, or do we set up wikis? I want to examine the different tools we might have for working together. I've got Gil and Tennyson McCullough are just joining me on the line now. Here they are. You on there, Tennyson? Okay, it looks like it is. How about you, Gil? Can you hear me?
Yes, Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm fine. I was flipping my mute on and off to minimize the choppiness from last time is gone too. You know, I have a question. Was the presentation I did choppy? The hour I was on? Does anybody know?
Pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me at all?
Yeah, I hear you good.
Okay, yeah. Excellent.
Now, are you going to be leading this, Tennyson?
No, I think Mark is going to be leading this, but I guess anybody could really start it off.
Yeah, I want Tennyson here mostly, so when I start fiddling with getting the software put back together and issues like that he can at least keep the conversation moving. So I think just as an introduction, I mentioned it before, but let me repeat it again since we had sound issues. During this session, I want to talk about the different tools we use to collaborate. I had imagined originally that Wiki might be the best way to work. There's lots of social networks, and social networks in general social networks are sort of inclusive. I want to think twice before I try and set up a private social network for discussions. But I'd like to sort of open up the discussion, whether we just do Facebook group or whether we do groups on LinkedIn or other social networks, or whether we set up a wiki. I kind of like the persistence of a wiki. Social networking is good for transient things like setting up a quick meeting, but I kind of like research that hangs around for a year or two so that somebody can find it later on when they suddenly realize they're looking for somebody to teach them how to be a mediator. They can find it online. So those are the kind of issues I want to talk about. I think, let me also just say how to participate in the round table as far as I understand it. I'm kind of making it up as we go along. There's three of us in an audio conversation right now. Dennison, Gil, and myself, Mark. If anybody else would like to participate on audio, then I've put my Skype address, Mark's phone, in the chat window. So you can just send me a Skype ad, and then I'll bring you into the conversation. Otherwise, if you want to just chat away in the window, I've got that open, and we'll read it out and repeat it, and try and include your questions and answers. One of the first things I should probably do is I'll show off the website that I've got up for the moment. Let me figure out how to open up new Firefox without starting all those feedback issues.
Well, can I?
Yeah,
I guess I'm not a tech guy, right? I'm mainly somebody who uses systems, and so what I approach this from is I have issues, I have needs, but I don't know necessarily how they can be solved with technology.
Right.
So let me throw a few issues out that I'm grappling with. In one of my papers, I write about the advantage of having an ideologically anarchist organization, and part of what that implies is that I will really need to be able to find people who are both, say, a qualified mediator and an anarchist, or both somebody who's a criminal justice graduate and an anarchist. But I'm early enough in my research that it's not like I'm really ready to hire someone, which isn't necessarily saying that I wouldn't be willing to pay somebody to do some stuff. I mean, I've done a little bit of that. But I think that some sort of, I don't know if job board is the right word, but more of an area where anarchists can come in and say, yeah, this is my area of expertise, or this is what I'm interested in, or people saying, look, positions, not necessarily positions available, but the types of positions that are going to be demanded. Again, I have a number of projects I do, where I use actuaries and mathematicians and people who know about patrol and people who know about law, and if we had a place where we could have just anarchists that could share what they're good at or what is needed, that could be worthwhile. So what's the technological answer to that?
The need. What's the need for having anarchists only? Is it for security, to defend ourselves so that we can not worry about the discussions we have?
No, not at all. It's not a security issue. It's the issue is, and I write about this in my paper, The Role of SPR in the Future of Liberty. The fact of the matter is that ideology is important to every exceptional organization. And this is true for Sony, it's true for Apple, it's true. They have a certain ideology, some of which has absolutely nothing to do with how they make money. It's their core values that they then are uncompromisable portions of what they do, even though they have to make money while embracing this ideology. And in order to do that, so in order to be successful, I argue, it's much easier for me to find a mediator who really gets the idea that I have this idea of a stateless order in mind.
No, I understand exactly.
That's the reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not so much
delay.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but no, what I wanted to say is that ideally what the Internet's going to give you, or what this new technology and connectivity and communications will give you, is just access to people. And people have been able to sort themselves into all types of different groups. It's self-organization. And so if you're looking for people to help you out, then the ideal place to do it would be online to do a search for them. And a couple of weeks ago, I was talking to friends of mine about what exactly could you do if you were trying to establish a free society? Like, could you establish something out in the desert or something, a whole new town, and something like a Las Vegas? And so that ideally what you'd want is something like you'd said, ideological group, I guess, as initial founders of this kind of thing. They'd be ideologically anarchist, and they would know the market society and all this stuff. But I'm also kind of leery on that point because I don't want to get too close to, say, like a Murray Rothbardian, vanguard type of thing, where he needs this vanguard to be the Leninist vanguard in order to start the revolution. And it just doesn't seem like it's the libertarian way of going about doing things. But ideological